Trump and Musk are behaving in ways that are consistent with targets when they know that they are being surveilled and they know that they have committed a crime. Hello and welcome to my TikTok. If you're new here, my name is Raven. I'm a former military intelligence specialist. I was a signals intelligence analyst as a cryptologic linguist in the Army. I was also infantry, wild ride, wild story. It's on my Substack if you ever want to know how I ended up in both worlds, but I have a background in both intel collection and execution of operations. And the way that they are behaving is consistent with if we had like an HVI, high-value individual, or an HVT, high-value target, who know that they are about to be caught. They are acting in a way that is consistent with that. So why we hit on the data breach so hard. Out of all the things that they're doing, they're flooding the zone left and right. I told you guys about shock and awe. You guys can do it back. By the way, you can always employ shock and awe against them, which you did when you kept blowing up your Congress members' phones. Keep doing that. Absolutely keep doing that. Those absentee, those protest town halls, keep doing that. Oh, that is working really good. Keep doing that. Keep going to your state attorney generals, filing lawsuits against Elon Musk for this data breach. All of this flooding the zone is working. The little fires, the stuff that they're throwing out that are distractions, stop worrying about that. The courts are holding up. The courts have not been overthrown. The courts are not out of power now. The judicial branch still has power, and it's actually working. And what you're seeing is that cause the devolving of Musk, the devolving of Trump, where they're trying to call things that aren't illegal online because they're freaking out. They're trying to say boycotting Tesla is illegal. No, it's not. Talking bad about President Trump is illegal. No, it's not. Elon Musk sitting there on Twitter trying to accuse people of crimes and saying you just committed a crime. This is somebody who is devolving. This is absolutely somebody who is devolving. They are behaving in a way that is so consistent with targets. When targets knew that they were getting monitored, when targets knew that people were onto them, that there were agencies that were onto them, this is how they start to act. They start to freak out like this. They devolve. They cannibalize each other, which we're seeing right now with the spending resolution that the Republican Party cannot come to an agreement on. It is working. These guys know that they committed a serious crime in breaching United States citizens' data by a foreign national who did not have the clearance and does not have the clearance to do that. This is such a serious violation and a coup. Out of all the things they're throwing at you, again, do not worry about the little fires. The Alien Act thing that they're going to bring up, that's also a distraction. It's not going to hold up. The whole reason they're even throwing that out there is because every single thing they've tried left and right has gotten shot down by the courts because an executive order is not federal law. They have been checked the way the government is supposed to work. It has worked. They have been checked. They have been kept in balance, and they are losing their minds because they're trying so hard to find any way now to get around that. And since every other method that they tried to employ has failed them, they're getting sloppy and they're devolving and they're getting angry at each other and the party's cannibalizing itself. This is how it always goes. It's how it always goes. So what can you do to further this? Keep calling your Congress members. Continue to call your Congress members. Keep bringing up the data breach, guys. That is such a strong one. That is such a serious issue. That should be grounds for impeachment right there. That is the biggest issue you have, and it's the best one you have if you want to actually take down Trump, is to focus on that issue specifically, because the right doesn't care about your feelings on transgender rights, on gay rights, on any of that, on race relations, on women's rights. They don't care too much about that because also they don't think that they're transphobic or homophobic or misogynistic or racist. They don't. So they truly believe that they're perfectly fine doing what they're doing and that they're not, because they're not wearing KKK hoods or something like that, that they're not bad. So they're not going to agree with you on that, but they will absolutely fall back to their xenophobia. They will absolutely agree with you about a foreign national who has close ties to Putin accessing their data when they already have such an extreme distrust of the government as is. Having a billionaire, the richest man in the world, accessing their data, who also happens to have extreme ties with Russia, with Putin, will absolutely work. Team up with them. Right now, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, so stop with the us versus them mentality. If you really want to be successful, you're going to have to appease their xenophobia, and you're going to have to appease their distrust of the government to get Republicans to also start turning against them, too. Keep flooding the zones. Keep going to protests, by the way. They're still relying on gaslighting, hoping that that'll work. If they can just keep telling their followers, see, people aren't really mad. It's just a small subset of ridiculous blue-haired liberals, and that's it. If you keep showing that everybody is pissed off and we're out there in large numbers, and you keep posting it on your social media, you call the media ahead of time to let them know when and where the protest will be so they can already have reporters there at the ready and have their camera crew set up, spread the word, keep making this noise so that the Republicans keep seeing just how much the rest of the nation is against this. And persuasion, peer pressure works. It absolutely works with them, of all people. It works. So play to their xenophobia, play to their distrust of the government, play to their peer pressure, keep making noise, keep protesting. Protesting works. It has helped so much already. Keep protesting. Courts are dealing with the rest. Don't get distracted by the little fires. Know that you're watching an extinction burst. The way that they are behaving is so consistent in manners in the way that a target behaves when they know that they have been tapped, that they have been compromised, that they are now being surveilled, and that they have done something wrong. They are absolutely behaving the exact same. And that's because they have done something wrong. And you know what they did wrong? I mean, they've done a lot of things wrong. I'm sure the list is endless. But you guys have to focus on this main one. They hacked classified data without the proper clearance, with 20-year-old coders and little kids taking all of the American people's social security information, and now they're trying to rob them. It's a very weird coincidence that once they took everyone's social security information, they also decided that they need to get rid of social security, as if that money has mysteriously and magically disappeared. How interesting. Crazy. Anyways, stay on that, guys. This is a good thing. What we're witnessing with Carolyn Leavitt's behavior is growing increasingly more and more stressed and frantic. She cannot address actual questions that relate to the fundamental knowledge of what she's talking about because she only knows how to parrot what she's heard, but she doesn't have a grasp on what she's actually talking about. So when confronted with things like tariffs, where she doesn't even have an understanding of how tariffs work, she freaks out. Journalists, keep putting that pressure on them. What you're witnessing with them trying to determine which reporters can come into the White House and which ones can't, and deliberately trying to tailor it in their favor, is because, again, when you place that pressure on them, they realize they don't actually even know what they're talking about, or they don't actually believe in what they're talking about. They're just parroting. So keep that pressure on them. Absolutely keep that pressure on them. And general public, keep that pressure on them too. You're watching people who know that their end is near, who are getting increasingly more frantic, more careless, more destructive, and they are already starting to cannibalize on each other, like we're seeing with this spending resolution that they cannot agree on at all. They will cannibalize each other. All you have to do is just keep calling and keep going to protests, okay? And try to appease to MAGA xenophobia and their distrust of the government and their peer pressure by going to these protests as well. And we are going to get through this, guys. I'm telling you, what we are witnessing, it's just so in lock and step with exactly how an HVT behaves, or an HVI behaves, when they know they're compromised. And they are, because they're Russian assets. So congratulations, we're making good progress. I can tell you from where I'm observing and analyzing this, it does look like it is headed towards a win for us. So keep it up, guys. I gotta go to hot yoga. Hope you guys are having a great day. Stay safe. Thank you for listening to this video.